Now, several prominent South Africans have selflessly committed to supporting the initiative for this year's Achievers Walk. The event was held in honor of former lawyer and politician Tiego Moseneke, who died earlier this year. Let's bring in Koketso Moseneke from the Cadets Institute and Advocate Dali Mpofu, who will talk to us also about the walk that they took part in this morning. Koketso and Advocate Mpofu, thank you so much for making time for us. Koketso, let's start with you. How did the walk go this morning?
It was awesome. It was a beautiful, beautiful affair. We started off with the mayor this morning cutting the ribbon. Our rangers and our cadets were awesome. They started with their pledge. We had a prayer. And then we hit the streets of Atteridgeville. We had academics. We had professionals in their garb. We had chefs. We had soldiers. And we had people from the police department. We had health workers. So it was awesome. And really the aim is just to make education fashionable. And I think we did that today in Atteridgeville successfully.
And Advocate Mpofu, for you, why was it important to also take part in this walk, honoring the legacy of this late patron and principal sponsor of, and loyal supporter, Tiego Moseneke?
Okay, I didn't get that question fully, but I caught the first part. No, it was very important because the day really represented everything that Tiego Moseneke was about. Literally, his friends were here, his family was here, his cadets, more importantly, were here, the community of Atteridgeville was here, and these are the things that he cared most about, very deeply. And therefore, it was the best tribute that all of us could pay to him, to have this first event without him, which is obviously a bittersweet thing for that he's not here for the first time, but sweet in the sense that this is the fruit of his labor. And he was very proud of the work that Koketso has done to put this project together. It was really something that he always complimented her about, and the community support from the friends, from everyone that we were here to give to her and the family was just merely an extension of our fondest goodbyes to him. And I think wherever he is, he's smiling upon us.
Yeah. Koketso, some of the participants there in this walk, what do you think they were remembering and reflecting on about Tiego's work and contribution in his community? Because as you said, he was quite selfless.
I think they were reflecting about his generosity, not only of spirit, but his generosity financially and otherwise. Tiego gave of himself. And he believed that when you are gifted with something, the best way to realize and enjoy it is actually to share it with the community. He's always said that if you can get one child right in a community, get this child to do good, be good for themselves, will somehow transform a family. And if we transform a family, we can do so in a community. And maybe one day we will turn this country around. He always said we cannot afford to give up on ourselves.
And picking up on that generosity spirit, Advocate Mpofu, what do you think South Africans can do to emulate that generosity of spirit? I know there was a plan by the organization to donate things like books, stationery, school shoes, and sanitary towels. What do you think South Africans can do to emulate that spirit of generosity?
Well, I think that what Koketso just said sums it all up. Because Tiego, was one for this kind of approach. We all talk about changing the world or changing the continent and the country, but actually in reality it starts at this level. It starts at the minutest level, what he used to call, the square meter. Your own square meter. If you can't transform your square meter, how are you going to transform the world? And I think that philosophy goes a long way in terms of everything that afflicts us as a society, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's gender-based violence, whether it's lack of education, whether it's corruption even. all the issues that Tiego cared so much about really start with us and those that are around us. And I think that is the grand message, really, of this initiative.
Yeah. Koketso, when you look at the prominent South Africans who have given of their time today, who have supported this initiative, how does that make you feel as a family? Because I imagine it tells you about the man that your loved one was and how revered he was.
Well, I think that today just showed me that we can keep Tiego's legacy alive. It just shows how many people believe in what he believed in. What it also made me see is that there are actually a lot of very good South Africans. You know, the media is always on about the negative, about corruption, about all the things that are wrong. And we are saying that there are many, many good South Africans. They came around here because they believe in what Tiego stood for, because they also stand for it. I am the big believer that we are not a lost generation and we are not a lost people, and we are not all about negativity. The positive spirit that flowed here represents what he stood for and what everybody that came here actually stands for. So there are a lot of us that are positive, and all of us need to just work together to try and make the square bigger.
Yes, yeah. Well, Tiego Moseneke and Advocate Dali Mpofu, thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we're happy to hear that things went so well with the walk this morning. Now, this